Change the gravity fruit to tease the school flower. Chapter 31. Lan Lan walked in with the medicine and said, Blue Star instructor and the others have gone back, this is the medicine she left behind. I don't know if the fire attack against the fire cloud snake is useful. Quote. After hearing this, Lu Rover said, it doesn't matter if the fire cloud snakes attack, I'll just take a rest, see for yourself if you want to continue training. It's better to take some medicine to recover, and you have experienced a life and death experience. Quote. So Land Rover closed his eyes and rested. He didn't care about his injury at all, because he completed the task in a few days and could get that physique. Xiaoyu and Sally sat aside and took some medicine. Land Rover entered the consciousness space, saw the two fire cloud snakes, and tried to communicate with them. Hey, what are you doing? Boss, you're here. When we have nothing to do, we just meditate. By the way, big brother, why are you so powerful? The instant breath is so terrifying, it makes our souls tremble with fright. Those level 50 monsters are not so scary. Said the fire cloud snake that had been headshot. Because I'm great. By the way, is your fire attack poisonous? Why is my back still burning now, and I can't recover? Quote. Yes, sir. My fire attack is poisonous. It can be restored after 48 hours. Our fire cloud snake only has 4 skills. Fire attack, collision, tail smash, recovery. The reason why I didn't die after being headshot by you is because as long as we have the beast heart at the 7-inch position, and we have comprehended the recovery skill, we can all recover. Our fire cloud snakes are usually operated by partners. At that time, I felt that someone had taken the upgraded dragon fruit, so I came here in a hurry. Because here are all monsters below level 25, so I didn't ask my partner to go with me. Later, when my partner saw that I was not there and smelled the smell, he came to find me, and it happened that I also recovered. We also felt that they ate the upgraded dragon fruit, so they attacked angrily, but the momentum of the boss at that moment. You know the rest. Quote. Hui and Snake's answer solved many of his doubts. Why didn't he die after a headshot? How could there be 2 fire cloud snakes coming over? After thinking for a while, Lu Rover continued to ask, then what do you want to eat in here? Also, will your strength remain unchanged after going out like this? Then other powerhouses basically have monsters above level 30 like you. Quote. Land Rover still has quite a few more, so they asked directly together. Let me tell you. One day, we monsters know that there is this place, the environment here is so good, so we will all come here, and it is very good for us to reach level 30 there, not as many as you said above level 30. You can also see that the highest level of this secret realm is 25. We came here looking for the upgraded dragon fruit. Now it will be difficult to go up when it reaches level 25, and we need to go to other places. Of course, our monsters are arrogant, especially those above level 30. Basically, they will not be like us. We can say that we are afraid of death just after reaching level 30, or we can say that we are really scared by your aura and want to follow along, around you. Other monsters would rather die than follow you. The other monsters don't know, we basically don't need to eat, it's like hibernating, our strength has not changed when we go out, and we can recover and improve quietly on your side of consciousness. Said another fire cloud snake. Land Rover captured several important information. 30 is great. Improvement also needs the environment. The monster is very proud and doesn't want to depend on others. It seemed to think of something and continued, we are different from the monsters outside the secret realm. They belong to a group, and they have a leader or something, while the monsters in the secret realm are all self-centered, and we are like this. After doing it, I will obey you unconditionally, including killing those monsters. We will come out behind you when you call us out. If you need to come out from other places, you need to hone it. Quote. After hearing this, Lu Rover found it incredible, just like he played games before, something similar to pets, and it sounds like it is difficult for others to have it, but it cannot be said that no one will have it. Lu Rover suddenly thought of a strange thought, would a couple like them have a baby in his consciousness? It seems that I have the opportunity to ask again, or find a suitable time. Now he doesn't need to make a move himself, he is invincible in this secret realm. The monsters who are always in this secret realm turned around and ran away when they saw him, so they still use the fire cloud serpent to come out. But don't let others know that you can bring things like pets. Other people who already have pets must not let others know, or those who know are already dead. Otherwise, how could there be such a thing, but everyone doesn't know? Moreover, various countries and some big forces have not used this intention to cultivate the backbone forces. It seems that everyone is hiding very deep. Come out of consciousness space. Lou Rover opened his eyes and saw the two of them sitting there chatting, after listening to a few words. It turned out to be a matter of fruit development, and then I also said that now my ability to use fruits has become stronger. I don't know if it's because of the animal heart I ate recently, or because of the physical exercise. The development and strength of the fruit ability needs to be supported by one's own strength. For example, the same fruit ability, the same age, but different physical conditions, one is a world champion, and you are an ordinary person. Which one do you think is better to use the fruit ability? Great. At this moment, Lou Rover interjected. Taking you guys as an example, why does Lan Lan use Blizzard within this range instead of twice this range? Xiao Yu, why can you control one sword instead of 5 swords? Have you ever thought about this question? According to your cleverness, you should have a lot of fantastic ideas, but you also need to work hard to train yourself. Just like I practiced when I had an idea, I thought of it that night, friction generated heat, so I kept practicing that night, but it succeeded. You have also seen it, so if you have an idea, do it and try it. As long as the idea is right and can be realized, why don't you do it yourself? Just like Lanlan's ice room, we wouldn't have known each other when we met, otherwise he could have trapped the winged bird in the ice room. She must have thought of it during this time, and then tried it. Quote. Lan Lan nodded after hearing this. She thought it was so right, and she came up with the same analogy between lava fruit and mara fruit that night, and her own snow fruit and frozen fruit. This ice room is only possible if you have an idea and try it yourself. After hearing this, Xiao Yu remembered the idea that Land Rover controlled many trees that day, and they were all floating in the air. After hearing this passage, they also thought a lot. When he got up the next day, Land Rover recovered a lot. He ran to the highest point and used observation hockey to feel it. And they practiced their legs against yesterday's ape, but they really calmed down. The ape was tied up. Knowing that the Land Rover was here, he didn't dare to act wild, so he cooperated. When resting after playing tirelessly, Xiao Yu asked Lanlan. Actually, do you know his master? Have you seen him in school? No, he grew up in an orphanage. He has no family and no mysterious master. I just saw his profile some time ago, but I don't know anyone. Xiao Yu was very curious, and always thought that Land Rover was surrounded by big shots. Land Rover just came over and heard it. No. Xiao Yu thought of a possibility and said, is your master not letting you tell? You are not allowed to tell anyone about his existence. You forgot again. Didn't I say that you are the second person in the world to know the 6 styles of taiju, and no fourth person knows? If I have a master, why would I say that? What if he dies? Did you tell me? Besides, there should be no one in this world worthy of being my master. Lou Rover gave her a white look and said. They all nodded after hearing this. Lan Lan suddenly had a flash of inspiration. Then do you accept apprentices? I want to get started. I can be a big sister. Even if you teach me the 6 forms of physical art like this, I don't think it's too much for me to get started. Quote. After Lou Rover heard this, he thought for a while, if he was accepted as an apprentice, he would not be able to complete the task of teasing them. That's a super rare reward. Let's talk about this in a few days. I'm thinking about whether to accept apprentices. I haven't thought about this issue. After all, the apprentice has to take good care of the other party, and the apprentice has to come forward for anything. This is his own sense of responsibility. Recruiting apprentices is not here to order, you have to be responsible. By the way, this kind of practice doesn't seem to be very effective. You should practice while looking for medicinal materials. The effect will be much better. Just continue with what I taught you. Xiao Yu thought of the question of time. Student Lou Rover, how long is our study this time? Can. For her, the most important thing is her parents. As long as she makes it clear to them so that they don't have to worry about herself, she can stay here as long as she wants. As for the university, it is not impossible to go back to study after learning the 6 styles. You mean you want me to keep teaching until you learn it? Lu Rover sneered. I didn't expect you to be average, but you think beautifully. It's true to learn quickly by yourself, no one will wait for you to grow up of. After hearing this, Xiao Yu immediately became angry. What are you talking about? She looks average. How can I say that I have been called a school belle for a few years? Well, it was in high school, and now it is in college. You actually said that I look average. Quote. It seems that it hit Xiao Yu's pain point, very dissatisfied. Lu Rover also deliberately angered her. Hey, you're the school belle just like you. Look, Lan Lan is the school belle of Yangcheng Middle School. Has she ever said that about herself? You. Lan Lan just smiled slightly after hearing this, she could see that Lu Rover was playing tricks on Xiao Yu. The safe zone in the secret realm of Yangcheng. Lan Xing and Sally came here, went directly to the broadcasting place, and notified that two level 30 monsters appeared in the secret realm. Attention all ability users, now there are monsters of level 30 appearing in the place of monsters of level 10 in the secret realm, everyone pay attention to save your life. This broadcast is playing continuously. Many ability users who came back to compensate for drugs or rest discussed after hearing it. A level 30 monster appeared, probably an upgraded monster. It shouldn't be. The upgraded words will appear at level 25, but now they appear at level 10. Level 10 monsters must be teamed up to fight, and if they are level 30, they will crush us. Maybe it's also a signal, hurry up and improve your strength. Blue Star also explained the situation with the guard at the exit, and informed the ability users who went out to exercise, so that those who exercise must know the news and be prepared. Or you can choose whether to go out to improve again. After all, you may not be able to come back after going out this time. On the way to the mayor's feedback, Lan Xing saw that Sally was absent-minded, as if something was on her mind. Thinking about Fire Cloud Snake. Still haven't slowed down, facing death. Quote. So Blue Star asked. Hey, I'm so engrossed, I still can't hear it. Hello. Sally. Quote. Only then did Sally reply foolishly, yes. I've been thinking about the three of them. Okay, Blue Instructor. Quickly tell the mayor to report this and we'll go in and bring them back. Quote. Sally wanted to be fascinated by thinking about Lu Rover and the others, just wanting to know what they posted. Really want. After Lan Xing heard it, he seemed to have noticed something. Surprised. You don't have feelings for Lu Rover, do you? Are you interested in him? Sally replied habitually again. It didn't take long to react. Without. No. Certainly not. Absolutely not. Quote. Sally became nervous all of a sudden. He quickly denied it in his mouth. Still said no. How do you see yourself? How nervous are you? Quote. Lan Xing gave her a blank look. But Lan Xing was also shocked. Didn't they just meet twice? When you were present, is it because of the exchange of devil fruit? But why did Xiao Yu drive herself away? She treated him so well. It seems that I have to take a serious look at the situation of this Land Rover. Is there any magic? Soon I arrived at the mayor's side. Because she is the instructor of the dragon group, you can go directly to the mayor. Just be polite and ask the assistant to notify you before going in. Because both the instructor and the team leader of the dragon team have the right to directly review the investigation work, it is also possible to enter silently. It's not that they haven't tried it. A certain mayor was caught by them when he did bad things at work. After entering, Blue Star said directly, Hi, Mayor. Is there something I want to report to you? The mayor said, Hi Instructor Blue. Please speak. It's like this. When I took Sally to train in the Yangcheng secret realm, I met two 30 level fire cloud snakes. It's too powerful. A level 30 fire cloud snake, or two. This kind of thing happened. The mayor said heavily. Yes, we met with Land Rover at that time. That is to say, Sally and Lu Rover met at the same time. This matter can't be planned by ghosts and gods, right? It's possible that both of them are phantom beasts. No, but with reservations, I will also report this matter to the higher authorities. Because it is abnormal, there is a level 30. Okay, I will also send someone to check and solve it. Thanks to Instructor Lan for his feedback. Sure, get busy. Don't bother you anymore, stay away. Quote. So Blue Star directly reported the situation to the headquarters after going out. The mayor is also really powerful. He can guess whether it is the assassination of our Phantom Beast ability users by ghosts and gods. His thinking is different when he is away for a long time. He can think of all aspects when encountering a problem. After Lan Xing reported the situation on the phone, he went back to the secret realm to find Xiaoyu and the others. After all, she was also worried about Xiaoyu. In the uncharted territory, they encountered a waterfall on the road. Land Rover remembered that in the training method, stepping on water is also a relatively convenient method. Use the feeling of stepping on water to explore the feeling of stepping on air. So a hole was opened behind the waterfall. Some monsters are afraid of water and can't water. So they stepped on the water and practiced the 6 postures. And Land Rover is practicing the abilities of observation haki and gravity fruit, controlling all the elixir found by observation haki and flying over. Xiaoyu, is it because something is flying by all the time, or is my eyes dazzled? Lan Lan asked. I saw it too. Xiaoyu also looked at the sky. Soon more and more things were flying in the sky, so they stopped training and flew up to see what was going on. During their training, they kept having things flying in the sky, and shadows would appear on the ground. At first they thought it was an illusion that they were tired from training. When I flew up, I saw a pile of spiritual fruits, piled up into a hill, and they kept flying in the sky. And the Land Rover on the side is still controlling with closed eyes. Land Rover is concentrating on searching the secret realm, and when it's almost there, just control this batch of flying over. Open your eyes, Sai, take it easy. I saw them looking at me. Wow. Is that why you want to change the gravity fruit? So powerful. This spiritual fruit is also, too outrageous. Quote. Student Lu Rover. That's amazing. Land Rover ignored them, but went over and took 2 and ate them. It's definitely not tasty, and it has no effect, so I said, half of each of you, work hard to recover. So Land Rover went back to lie in the hole behind the waterfall. Did I hear you right? He gave us these. Maybe not. Maybe this is just a part of his training. Quote. Lan Lan shook her head and said, come on. Others use the money ability, he uses the spirit fruit ability. Well, I am convinced. Quote. It didn't take long for Land Rover to lie down. There is a voice from Cheat. Complete the task, get 2 school beauties, and reward super rare rewards. Garp's Armed Color and Conqueror's Hockey and 6 Style Teaching Method. Conqueror's Hockey has reached the advanced level. Closing parenthesis. Oh my god. Outrageous, this is the trick. It seems that the power of money in this world is spiritual fruit. The Armed Colors and Conquerors are also advanced, so after entering the secret realm these days, they have been greatly improved. This is about to take off. Who can stop me? After taking a look at Garp's 6 style teaching method, coupled with their training in the past few days, it is estimated that they will be able to touch the threshold soon. Then strike while the iron is hot, call them up and tell them again, just got Garp's teaching method. After 7 days of training, plus the effect of spiritual fruit is a meal, they can get started and use it, but the effect and damage are not enough, and they need to be strengthened, just practice and get familiar with it later. How do you feel about yourself, these days of cultivation? It's great, my body has improved a lot, and my fruit ability has also been strengthened a lot. I feel like I can break my cousin's defense. Really. I feel that my ice room is much stronger, and I can control the ice spikes. Why don't you try to break through my ice room? After speaking, Lanlan formed an ice room around Xiaoyu, which didn't break after several estimates. Wow, that's amazing. Lan, why are you so amazing? Haha. I guess it's because of my proficiency. After I've practiced the 6 forms, I'll also practice my fruit ability. It's probably because of my hard work. You don't know how hard Lan is to improve. You study more and learn from others. You are also a college student. Lan hasn't gone to college yet. Land Rover is deliberately angry with Xiaoyu, not angry or uncomfortable. When Land Rover saw their effect, it was amazing. There is also a feeling of an apprentice becoming a teacher. Land Rover has also received cheat rewards in the past 7 days, and the choice is the physique of the ant. Lanlan was too cruel to herself, maybe it was for revenge, forcing herself. Not like you, like playing. Very good, now I have to keep both the merits of self-improvement. Lanlan can now attack and defend, and the damage also has a deceleration effect. Quote. Land Rover praised. Lan felt embarrassed. It turned out that she couldn't hide from Lu Rover that she had practiced extra these days. Also got praise from Land Rover. Xiao Yu is also very smart, so she didn't continue to talk about this topic, but took Lan's matter as the matter of the three of them and said, "It's okay, we can help with revenge, call me and Lu Rover if necessary. Students Lu Rover will definitely not refuse your school bell's request." Lu Rover also admired Xiao Yu's reaction, thought for a while and said, "Perhaps the ghosts and gods came to kill me, and then I killed me instead. It's okay, Land Rover is probably still among the assassination targets of ghosts and gods." The new principal said that the exchange of fruits is at most adding one more target to the target they set. Lan Xing and Sally searched for them for a long time but couldn't find them, so they were very worried. "Where did they go? We have searched all over, but we haven't found them yet. It won't be killed by the fire cloud snake when it comes back, right?" Quote. "Don't scare yourself first, haven't we encountered them? With their abilities, it's not difficult to escape." Then Xiao Yu looked up, just in time to see someone coming out of the waterfall. No wonder, it turned out that they were there, no wonder they were never found. "Go, follow." Okay. After finishing speaking, they followed suit. Because now Sally's task is basically completed, so there is enough time. And now it is also my task to find Fire Cloud Snake. Fortunately, they didn't cause any major damage, otherwise no one here could clean them up. Soon. Sally said. "Isn't this an area around level 20, I have the impression. What are they doing here?" Quote. "There are basically monsters in each area, but the levels are different. And they just searched for it, and they are familiar with the secret realm. Probably also know which monsters are in which positions. I'm curious too, follow along slowly." Blue Star shook his head and said. But she knows Xiao Yu's strength, she couldn't beat the level 20 ape last time. But she can fly, so don't worry about not being able to escape. Now she's curious. Curious why they come here. What are you going to do? Land Rover sensed them behind and said, "Your cousin Lan Xing is following us, what do you want to do? After all, she cares about you." Quote. "What, she's here. But that's right, worry about my danger." Xiao Yu said. Although he didn't look at them, Lu Rover still felt the fluctuation behind him. Instead, Xiao Yu asked, "Can we use the 6 forms of Teishu? Anyway, they will take me back later, and they will show it to them. I still have to practice for a while. Land Rover doesn't care, so what if he knows, it doesn't pose any threat to me now." Land Rover felt a little hungry, and asked directly, "Why don't you get something to eat first? Then practice, it seems like I haven't eaten for a long time." Lan cooperated and said, okay. By the way, he took out the equipment. Some eating utensils are available, such as pots, bowls, and those. These are all things prepared before entering the secret realm. Although she will also carry it, Xiao Yu will also carry it. And Land Rover didn't bring it. Xiao Yu also came over to help. The two of them are ready to start making food for Land Rover. Xiao Yu said first, Lan, you are the main hand, and I will be the second hand. After all, I'm not very good at cooking. In the end, it's not good if it's not delicious, and it's a waste of ingredients." Quote. "No problem, watch me." Lan Hockey responded. This is the first time for Lan to cook for outsiders. She has cooked for grandma before, so she has also been in the kitchen before. It has been cooked so many times, so the taste can still be eaten, not like Xiao Yu's. Although this is Xiao Yu's first time cooking food for others, besides practicing, she will never go to the kitchen, let alone spend time cooking. After all, my mother used to make it at home, and there was a cafeteria for everything at school. Even if she was going out, her roommates made it for her to eat. So she can't cook, but it doesn't affect her carrying these equipment. Not to mention her equipment is still the best. When Lan saw her equipment, she immediately used her equipment instead of her own. Just like before, his partners would use her pot if they needed to use her. She brought it just to be able to eat better. Cut the meat like this. Lan demonstrated twice and then gave her a hand, let her cut. Xiao Yu took the kitchen knife and began to cut the meat, but the way he held the kitchen knife was really hard to bear to look at. Land Rover was also shocked when he saw it. After all, he is now out to exercise, and he should know some basic operations, such as cooking and eating, basic medical first aid and so on. After Lan Lan went to prepare the side dishes and seasonings, she went straight to the pot. Land Rover taught them these things, and there is nothing wrong with them cooking a meal. But looking at Land Rover's Blue Star and Sally from behind. Seeing this scene, the two of them made food for Land Rover. Lan Xing and Sally looked at each other in blank dismay. While both were shocked, they also had many questions. What are they going to do? Come here to cook something. They thought that the three of them came to such a dangerous place, what is there to do? It's something like a dark secret. Result. I came all the way here just to cook and eat. Sally was stunned, and Lan Xing was in a mess. There are level 20 monsters around here, haven't you seen them? Still cooking and eating here. Blue instructor, look at this. It doesn't matter, let's go there too. Only then do we know what's going on. After speaking, they walked over. Lan Xing sat next to Lu Rover directly, and Sally went to help the two of them eye-catchingly, to see if they could hear something. Seeing that they were above board, Lu Rover walked over directly. Hello, Lan instructor. Have you finished reporting the matter, and you can't worry about Xiao Yu? Lu Rover asked. It's definitely nonsense. Xiao Yu is my cousin, and there are 230-level fire cloud snakes in this secret realm, can I not worry? What if they suddenly come out to make trouble? Lan Xing said, and you are here, why do you come here to cook and eat at the level 20 monster? How dangerous, what do you think? For the sake of you being cousin Xiao Yu, I'll tell you honestly that I have taken care of Fire Cloud Snake. They will go to training later, you can go and have a look. Lu Rover said. As soon as she finished speaking, Xiao Yu used her novice shaving to get behind Lan Xing. Cousin, why are you here? It's my first time to make something, you should be able to eat it. Lan Xing was stunned. When did Xiao Yu appear here? I just heard a little sound. When did she learn it? How can she move so fast? Could it be someone who was here in Land Rover during this time? Because just now Land Rover also said that they want to train. Before the shock was over, Xiao Yu used Moonwalk to stay at a distance of 5 meters. Go ahead and kick the ground with the Tempest Kick. Boom. Instantly. An air knife fell to the ground almost instantly. The dust on the ground flew up, leaving a small sword mark. After Blue Star saw it. Question mark. Didn't use Devil Fruit's ability to stay in the air. Make a sword mark with your leg. At this moment, she felt a little incredible. Not really, is this cousin Xiao Yu? Then Land Rover stood up and kicked it out. And this kick is much more powerful than Xiao Yu's. Boom. A tree was cut down directly, and it was still spreading backwards. Xiao Yu also visibly floated the broken tree up and then made it into wood, and floated it to Lanlan's side. This time Blue Star was even more shocked. This is Land Rover. Is he really the Land Rover I know? He just stood up with that random kick. It wasn't that Xiao Yu saved her before, but the reaction I saw now probably means that she saved Xiao Yu instead. Strange, actually hidden so deep. It's really not easy, no wonder the two girls are protecting the Land Rover like this. But she was a little bit prepared. But the preparation is not that high. Land Rover's performance is too outrageous. And when Sally saw Xiao Yu disappearing beside her suddenly, and then saw what the next Land Rover would do, she just stood there in a daze. She really couldn't believe that Land Rover is so powerful and has such a powerful attack. Then walk slowly to Blue Star Instructor. Instructor, is this true? He ate the fruit of gravity in front of me, 4 veritable Paramesha ability users, and the powerful ability he used belongs to. Quote. A terrifying sword aura can be kicked out with a random kick, it will stay in the air, and it can disappear suddenly and appear in another place. Just Tempest Kick, Moonwalk and Shaved, these 3 styles. What exactly is this power? Sally didn't want to understand. This should have nothing to do with fruit ability. Although I don't really believe it, the attitudes of Yu Xiaoyu and Lanlan, as well as what Xiao Yu showed and Lu Rover showed, are already facts before us. It's really impossible. What's the matter again? Lan Xing shook his head and said with emotion. This is not Devil Fruit's ability. The only thing she is sure of is that Gang Xiaoyu is not using the ability of space. Look at the ability of teleportation, not the ability of teleportation. But she was also very shocked, because in such a short period of time, Xiaoyu had learned a little bit. Then she looked at Land Rover. Seeing her gaze, Lu Rover walked straight in front of her. The distance between the two heads was less than half a meter. It seems that I really learned it from Land Rover. She was shocked. Who would have thought that a boy who hadn't graduated from high school would have such powerful moves and such powerful power? It seems that this is his strength, so he does not need the Phantom Beast fruit, but chooses this gravity fruit. I remember he seemed to say that he likes gravity fruit and string fruit. Blue Star thought of a lot. It seems that your strength is very strong. I'm afraid you still have cards to take away, far more than what you showed us in the morning. This is to show it, so that we don't have to worry about Xiaoyu, right? Quote. Lu Rover clapped his hands in front of her and said, as expected of Lan instructor, you are so smart. Since Xiaoyu chose to show it to you, I will also show it to you. So you can rest assured and let her exercise here, right? Quote. And Sally saw these. No way. Really or not? That said, they knew what was going on with Land Rover before they met us. In other words, Land Rover saved us and took care of the fire cloud snake. Sally covered her mouth and exclaimed. It turns out that he has always been so strong and has been hiding in school, so he exchanged devil fruit with me at that time. It seems that I really don't want this phantom beast species. Simply want the fruit of gravity. Now he has figured it out. Why did they choose to be with Land Rover? Lan said. Don't be in a daze, come and eat together. Come and taste what I just made, come here together. Quote. You are a Land Rover and call them over to eat together. Xiaoyu immediately reacted with a greedy smile. Okay. Come on. When she saw the expressions of her cousin Lan Xing and Sally, she could see how shocked she was, because the expressions on their faces were so wonderful. It's a pity, I really want to take a picture of my cousin like this. Ha ha ha. The one who is so happy with Xiaoyu is Lanlan. That kind of feeling is that the person I recognize is also viewed by others with this kind of eyes. Hurry up, continue training after eating. Hurry up and eat, you probably haven't eaten anything after looking for us for so long, have a good meal. Quote. Land Rover put a piece in his mouth and talked while eating. Xiaoyu and Lan hurried to the side of Lu Rover, one on the left and one on the right, holding their own bowls and chopsticks, ready to enjoy this delicious meal. Sally started to eat slowly, and Lan Xing also picked up the bowl and chopsticks. It's strange, why no monsters came over? Blue Star said. At this time, Xiaoyu rushed to express again. He said that the monsters in this secret realm are afraid of him, and they have to avoid him when they see him. How could they come to trouble him? Their eyes widened again. However, Lan Xing remembered that when they met before, the two of them were just kicking monsters. It seems that they had already started exercising at that time. No wonder they were able to capture the hearts of the two of them, and Sally's heart seemed to be messed up too. But it is also understandable, because the operation of exchanging devil fruit at that time was equivalent to saving her entire world, and the impact on her were also quite large. Before coming here, if she hadn't shown these strengths, her heart would have been in a mess, let alone now. They believed what Xiaoyu said now. Because otherwise it would be difficult to explain, where did the two fire cloud snakes go? After thinking about this, Lan Xing said, Xiaoyu is fine, and he has learned such a powerful move. It seems that with Lu Rover, I don't have to worry about your safety. You said that because he didn't want to expose his strength. It's true. It should be him who saved you. Just now I was thinking that the two of you are carrying an oil bottle, which might be dangerous in the secret realm, maybe sooner or later. But now, it looks like Land Rover is taking you 2 oil bottles, and is still teaching you some moves. It seems that he is hiding very deeply. Even if you go to see him now, you will never think that he is such a powerful person. By the way, Xiaoyu, are the moves you learned difficult? Do you want to teach your cousin? Quote. Xiaoyu thought for a while and said, it's difficult, isn't it ordinary difficult? You don't even know how much Lanlan and I have suffered these days. Quote. Lan also said, difficulty is definitely difficult, but you have to endure it in order to improve. After all, this is a powerful body technique, and the training of the body is really terrifying. So direct feedback from the body can feel very difficult. Don't look at us now, it's just drizzle. Compared with Blue Rover's classmates, it's like a cat meets a tiger. Ask the Blue Star instructor if you want to learn, the two of us can't make the decision. Quote. At this time, Lan Xing and Sally heard an important key. Gymnastics. There is no doubt that the moves they use are physical skills, that is, those moves can be issued by relying on the body. Lan Xing, who had just put the food in his mouth, was stunned, unable to recover for a long time. Is this a gymnastics? Is there such a powerful body art in this world? Quote. That speed, that damage. You told me this is gymnastics. This is really too scary. Now is the era of devil fruit, not the era of physical training. If you do it like this, how embarrassing are those demon fruit powers? Sally reacted and said, the words about physical skills are too outrageous. It is indeed a bit outrageous that physical skills can be so strong. Lan Xing shook his head and said, yeah, it's a bit outrageous. But he seemed to be outrageous from the very beginning. Who would a normal person not want the phantom beast fruit? Take it for gravity fruit. In an instant, the two level 30 monsters were dealt with. Now they can fly on the air, move as fast as teleportation, and the air knife kicked out is more powerful than other people's sword energy. Quote. Outrageous. Student Blue Rover, are you so powerful? I'm sure I'm very relieved now, the monsters she said are so close that they are afraid of your words. But, when Xiao Yu heard the word, but, she became nervous all of a sudden, and couldn't wait to know. But what? But there are only 3 of you, 1 male and 2 females, I'm afraid it's not good. If you let your parents know that I met you in the secret place of Yangcheng, but didn't bring you back and let you exercise here, they can't beat me to death. Forget it, why don't you go back with me? Quote. As expected of a Blue Star instructor, Land Rover sighed when he heard this, he really knows how to chat. As soon as Blue Rover heard her say that, he could hear that she wanted to learn too. Xiao Yu refused. Such a great opportunity, my cousin actually wanted to screw it up and prevent me from learning it. What a great opportunity this is. Sally's eyes are bright now, and she really wants to learn. Oh, cousin. Don't worry about it, they are so busy, how could they know? As long as you don't say it, I won't say it. How did they know you met me here? Besides, do you think what you see is his full strength? I don't even know how strong he really is. Quote. Good guy, there is really a whole card hidden, it seems that he really hides it quite deep. Lan Xing continued, Xiao Yu, I know you want to become stronger. There are many ways to become stronger, and I don't know if there are any side effects of training this kind of physical skill. But if you don't even have your life, what's the use of being strong? Quote. Lan Xing went on to say that she also wanted Blue Rover to hand over something, not only to take Xiao Yu back, but she also wanted Xiao Yu to finish learning and teach her. Sister. My good cousin. I know that you are doing it for my own good, but I also know that the road to becoming stronger will not be smooth sailing, how can a strong person come here smoothly? As the instructor of the Dragon Special Forces, you should know these things better than me. And Land Rover is really interesting, and the development ideas of some fruits are also very powerful. Quote. Sally also really wanted Land Rover to teach her, and she also really wanted Blue Star instructor to take Xiao Yu away, and not let the 3 of them get along like this, but she just watched silently and didn't interrupt. Blue Rover knew what Lan Xing was thinking, but if he didn't say it now, let the sisters make it clear first. Lanlan is watching the play silently, it has nothing to do with her. It's none of your business to hang up high, and listen to what they say while eating. Okay, I can't stand you anymore, since you keep saying that Blue Rover is very good, why don't you tell me how good he is? If you don't know, why not show it to Blue Rover? Blue Star said and looked at Land Rover. Because Land Rover only showed the 3 styles just now, she didn't know whether to talk about the fruit development, so she also looked at Land Rover. Quote. Look, you can't tell how strong he is. So, how long have you guys known each other? Have you really understood his strength yourself? Besides, taking a step back and putting aside strength, there are still some dangers that cannot be solved by strength. After talking about so much, why can't you understand? Blue Star said angrily. After Lan Xing finished speaking, the scene became silent, not even the sound of eating. Xiao Yu felt something different, so she felt embarrassed to continue speaking. After Lu Rover heard it, he also felt that what she said made sense. What if I can't stand it anymore, and then do something to hurt them? So it's hard for him to speak now. After all, he dared not to promise anything. As for whether they want to learn or not, that is their business. Xiao Yu doesn't want her cousin to worry, but also wants to learn the 6 styles. Although she has a little bit of fur now, she would love to learn a little bit about Grandmaster too. She doesn't want to procrastinate, she also wants to learn as soon as possible. Cousin, can I have a chat with you alone? Xiao Yu finally spoke. Lan Xing didn't say anything nonsense, and wrapped them up with a huge hand. Leave 3 people, you look at me, I look at you. At this time, Sally, who was fighting in her heart, said, I never expected you to be so powerful and hide so deeply. It's okay, it's okay. Land Rover nodded embarrassingly. Is it the strength you have been hiding before? Yeah. Does anyone in your class know your strength? I think should not be. How did you and Lan Lan meet? Why did it involve Lan Lan? All of a sudden, Land Rover has a big head. Lan Lan is right next to her. Lan Lan replied, we only got to know each other in this secret realm in the past few days. Sure enough, we met in the secret realm, so I said I definitely wouldn't meet outside. Lan Lan, you are a school belle. How did you know each other? It's not really what Xiao Yu said, is it? Quote. After knowing the strength of Lu Rover, I naturally didn't believe what Xiao Yu said at that time. Why did she and Lan Lan save Lu Rover's life? Land Rover almost saved them. Land Rover has 1 head and 2 big ones. What the hell? Lan Lan didn't want to talk anymore. Lu Rover continued, she is teasing you, don't take it seriously. The 3 were silent again. Lu Rover, which of the 2 of them do you like more? Why do you ask that? I can see that Lanlan and Xiao Yu both like Land Rover. We've only known each other for so little time. Lu Rover was stunned. Lanlan blushed and listened, and felt embarrassed to look at them. Of course Lu Rover knew that the 2 of them liked him, and Cheat even gave him rewards. Maybe because they saved their lives. Or perhaps it was to teach them the 6 forms of physical art. Or have experienced life and death together. Of course, it may also be the reason for being handsome. Strong. But feelings are simple and complex, maybe it's the combination of these things that makes them both like themselves, and they know each other's existence and there is no dispute. But Land Rover has no idea about them now. What I have to say is that in these days of adversity, let them get acquainted with each other a little bit, or let them trust each other a little bit. At the same time, it's quite comfortable to get along with them these days, and it's like a family when we play around, very comfortable. In short, much more comfortable than with Sally. Land Rover is not a saint. After all, he has been working part-time for so long and has never had a serious relationship. It is rare to travel through time. He will definitely not refuse to fall in love. This is for 3 people, he has no experience, and there are other things at this time, so let everything take its course. In huge flowers. What do you want to say? Say it. Lan Xing said. Say it, cousin. I have seen him use the gravity fruit to float a bunch of trees in the air, you can imagine what kind of damage it will cause if it falls down. I've seen it too, he stood there with his eyes closed, and then a pile of spiritual fruits flew over and piled up into a hill. Of course, this is definitely not his full strength. So he is also very good at developing fruits. The ice room that Lan Lan used that day was only used after communicating with him. Lan Lan didn't know how to do it the day before. So you think about it. So his true strength is definitely not what our unimaginative minds can imagine. Or when he doesn't even look down on phantom beasts, you should know in your heart that he won't be so simple. Quote. After listening to it, Lan Xing thought for a while and opened a huge flower. Then Lan Xing said, Student Lu Rover, is it convenient to ask? It seems that the other party is straightforward, and Lu Rover also felt that he had told her, took her aside and said, Blue Star Instructor, I think the damage of your current fruit ability is relatively enough, but there is a lot lacking in development. I can't figure out why you still can't fly. You try to come out from the back with many hands, which are as big as our hands, and pull each other to form a wing, can't you fly? And I see that when you fight, you come out from the ground. Why don't you try to come out from the opponent's body, such as holding the opponent's hand and tying it, etc. Quote. Boy, I didn't speak. You just know what I'm going to ask you. After hearing this, Lan Xing also tried the move that Lu Rover said. Good guy, I didn't expect a lot of hands to be tied together, and I didn't expect to come out on a human body. It seems that these 2 points have increased my imagination. It seems that Land Rover is really powerful, and my strength has to be improved a lot, and I am convinced. Blue Star was really pleasantly surprised this time. Although she guessed that the reason for grinding Xiao Yu was to look at Lu Rover's cards again, but she didn't expect the effect to be so great. Why is he so pervert? He can think of the development of my ability. Although she also wants to practice the physical skills she sees, but the other party doesn't talk about preaching, it's good enough to show us, don't go too far. Xiao Yu, come on. I will tell my uncle and aunt. Sally, let's go. Blue Star said back. Sally wanted to say, but seeing that Blue Star instructor had gone far away, she followed. They continued the rhythm of 3 people exercising together. I don't know how long we will be together. She didn't even say the sentence, I'm not afraid of what Lu Rover will do to Xiao Yu. But it's useless to say it. Because Lan Xing knew that even if he was here now, he couldn't stop him from doing anything. Now that things have happened, she can only rest assured. In fact, she is also envious of Xiao Yu and Lan Lan. To be able to get to know a strong man like Lu Rover, and get along well, he is willing to teach her those moves and help her improve her strength. She already knows and tried the sweetness, and Lu Rover enlightened her with a few words. She will be very happy if Xiao Yu can become stronger. Seeing that Land Rover is so powerful, she also understands that Land Rover will definitely be a big shot in the future, and the thinking of development can make many strong people accompany him. And she is also a little cautious. Xiao Yu, don't just think about improving, you have to seize the opportunity, don't lose to Lan Lan. Land Rover will definitely be a figure that the major forces are vying for, as the saying goes, the first to win the moon. Maybe even the queen might. So she speeded up and took Sally back to the dragon group first. And Sally was very unwilling, she felt very uncomfortable, and wanted to follow suit. But she has already joined the dragon group. It's not like you can enter when you want to, and you can get out when you want to get out. She didn't expect that Lu Rover would teach her. Lanlan saw their scene and said, look, Sally seems to be interested in you, and she wants to stay and learn together. Don't worry about her, she was always superior at that time, and she always thought I liked her. Lu Rover said with a glance, hurry up and practice after eating. Are they gone? Xiao Yu was also worried that her cousin would not leave, and maybe she would come back and take her away again. If she knew that her cousin still wanted to sell her to Lu Rover, she didn't know how she would feel. Let's go, I guess I'm going back to experience the newly developed moves. Lu Rover muttered. Xiao Yu immediately came over and grabbed Lu Rover's arm. Shaking happily. Land Rover not only felt Xiao Yu's happiness. And it feels a little softer. Knowing that they are really gone, so that she can practice the 6 forms of physical art well, Xiao Yu let herself go. Let go and let me talk. Without that soft touch, Lu Rover finally heaved a sigh of relief, and at the moment of contact, Lu Rover's body surged with blood. Lu Rover himself felt strange when he suddenly had this vision. Although the boy himself is also a boy with a strong blood, but the contact just now is not likely to have such a reaction. You said it's okay to be 15 or 16 years old, but you crossed over by yourself. Seeing Lu Rover's reaction, Xiao Yu immediately jokingly said, Lu Rover, didn't you react just now? It turns out that Lu Rover has feelings for me, so I have to be more careful. Go and practice. Land Rover's face turned dark. Lan Lan also saw this situation, and thought to herself, classmate Lu Rover, would it be depressing and uncomfortable to accompany as 2 beauties? She didn't think so much and went to training, she still wanted to improve herself a little more. Xiao Yu didn't make progress, so she accepted it when she knew it was good, and it would be bad if she really overplayed it. Hurry up to catch up with Lan Lan's training. A city near Longguo Yangcheng. This boy Lu Rover, who just awakened the phantom beast, really exchanged the fruit. Did he eat the gravity fruit? A man in black robe stood in the hall and asked. The headmaster spread the word, and people outside followed suit. Of course, some people believed it and some didn't. They haven't seen both of them, and they are sure to have seen them both in the secret realm of Yangcheng. Quote. A person in black clothes said respectfully. He looks very calm now, but his whole body is actually shaking, because he has received too little information from the tasks assigned to him. And the man in the black robe is the main person in charge of the ghost organization in Dragon Kingdom. Known as Poison Ghost, his ability is just like his title. People are called ghosts, and there are 7 people in the ghost organization, and they are all the main leaders of various countries. Their strength and status are all second only to the 3 Phantom Beast ability users of the ghost organization. Now the city near his current city asked this question from his mouth. Could it be that they came here to assassinate the Phantom Beast elites? But in the current situation, all the Phantom Beast elites are protected. Even if there is a chance, most of them are traps. Not to mention the Dragon Kingdom of these 4 great powers. Dragon Kingdom, Fire Kingdom, Ice Kingdom, and Sand Kingdom are the 4 great powers. If he wants me to assassinate the Phantom Beast elite, then I will die. Of course, the poisonous ghost who is in charge of the Dragon Kingdom is holding an iron ball that looks like a grenade in his hand. He doesn't know what the subordinate who is talking to him is thinking. Of course, he doesn't care what the other party is thinking. He said slowly. The goal of coming here this time is to eat the people who have just awakened the Phantom Beast's fruit. Since I really came here for this. This subordinate named Mu Lin trembled in his heart. 5 or 6 years ago, a Phantom Beast species pervert appeared in the Dragon Kingdom, and it was a recovery phoenix Phantom Beast species. I just confirmed that it really happened. Unexpectedly, there was another awakened Phantom Beast species, and it even made the whole country boil. The frequency of Dragon Kingdom producing Phantom Beasts is a bit too much, but it is not a good momentum, and orders have been issued from above. No matter what, we have to kill a Phantom Beast this time, no matter what, even if it means changing lives. Quote. Mu Lin was shocked that there was a Phoenix Phantom Beast 5 or 6 years ago, and it was hidden so deeply that no one in the country knew about it. So he reminded aloud. It is almost impossible to kill the Phoenix Phantom Beast now, and the newly awakened Phantom Beast is still uncertain whether it is a land rover or Sally. They are now in the secret realm of Yangcheng, and our people can't get in at all. Quote. There are more ways than difficulties. If they stay in the secret realm, they won't stay for long, they will always come out, and you can also try to find someone who has enmity with them, such as death enmity. If there is no one, you can create it. If you make mistakes, you can start with the people around you. Quote. Your idea is to kill both of them, no, 2 families. Hearing his tone, Mu Lin was startled. Even if it is to assassinate one person, it is extremely difficult, and it may even be a trap, let alone kill both of them. I don't want everyone to take such a big risk together, so let you have a deep understanding and determine your goals as soon as possible. If you are really not sure who ate it, then we can only make a plan to kill both of them. If there is no other way, we can create conflicts insidiously and kill both of them. Quote. The poisonous ghost said, his dark face cannot be seen under the black robe. In a certain school in the Fire Country. I heard that there is a Phantom Beast awakened in Longguo this time, who is just 18 years old, and looks like he is about to graduate and go to university. I am looking forward to the university exchange at the end of the year. Quote. A gorgeous student said this while sitting in class, wearing a fiery red dress. She should not be coquettish at her age, and she also has another identity that can be said to be the princess of the Fire Nation. Hey! Fire Nation, you are the strongest now, you have no opponents, and now you are all aiming at foreign countries, but if he just entered school, I don't know if he can participate. And the people of Long Kingdom must protect it tightly. Don't talk about the exchanges between countries, but this time they are making a fuss, and I don't know what the party's idea is. Quote. The person next to Princess Longguo said. If he doesn't come out, I can go find him. But it will take some time for him to improve, so don't be in such a hurry, give him some time to improve. But Binger should take many measures to curb his development. Quote. Princess Huo Nation is very confident, because she has been trained very well here, but she also has the blood to fight against strong opponents. Yangcheng's secret territory. Okay, now start training the other 3 poses. Iron body paper arts and finger pistol. Quote. Land Rover asked them to catch 10 level 5 monsters. You need to use paper arts or iron body to deal with their attacks. Finger pistol, don't worry. After Land Rover finished speaking and stepped back, 10 level 5 monsters went straight up. They are very happy to attack the two of them, making a slight sound from their mouths, and they will scream when they attack. Some attack fast and some are powerful, and they can just switch between these two defensive moves to practice. If you can't defend or dodge their attacks, although your lives will not be in danger, it will still be very painful. Don't even think about using the fruit ability, you will never learn it like this. Try to feel the power of your body, and then control it. Quote. Training continues. Fortunately, with the help of many spiritual fruits, the strength of the monsters has gradually increased. By the time I can deal with level 15 monsters, 2 weeks have passed. From a level 5 monster to a level 15 monster, it took them a week to defend against it, and it took another week to improve their attack. They were able to defeat a level 15 monster with the 6 styles of body book. Of course, during this period, they suffered numerous physical injuries. There are wounds all over the body, scratches, kicks, punches, etc. After all, this is practice defense, it is not so easy to deal with. If it is easy to deal with, it is impossible to train. Fortunately, when they were resting at night, they ate the spirit fruit and then massaged and applied medicine to each other to heal their injuries. When the medicine ran out, Lou Rover would use the move he used last time to gather all the medicinal materials in the secret realm. So there will be no shortage of medicines. In the cave behind the waterfall. Student Lou Rover, see if I can become a teacher. Xiao Yu said beside the fire. Lou Rover rolled his eyes while grilling the meat and said, don't get excited, let alone be proud. You can single out level 15, look at my strength, right? And you are only at the elementary level now. I thought you could get to this point in 10 days, but who knew that you took half the time? I'm ashamed to be proud. Quote. Xiao Yu silently lowered her head. Later, you can strengthen your training by yourself, you don't need me to watch. I'm also about to go back to school to see what graduation is all about. By the way, Lanlan, where was your favorite university before? Quote. Land Rover said. The time is almost here, when it is time to choose a university and prepare to graduate. After hearing this, Lanlan said directly, I didn't think about this problem. I have been thinking about revenge. I will go to them after I go out. I was dreaming about the person who killed my grandparents yesterday. At that time they the scene of death in front of me. If I succeed in revenge, I will go to your school. Okay. Quote. At this moment, Xiao Yu was thinking of pulling them to her own school. Why don't you think about Capital University? You can definitely do it with your strength. Xiao Yu is also very clear about their strength now. After all, they have been training together these days and have experienced life and death together. It can be said that they can give their backs to their comrades. If they are not qualified to be comrades in arms, there is probably nothing in this world except their relatives. Because during these days of training, especially in the first few days, she and Lan were bruised all over by monsters. When they wanted to bandage the wound first, Land Rover would not give it until night, and they also told them, if you don't want to get hurt, then find a way to deal with the attack. If you can't see the backs, you can back to back. So they handed over their backs to each other with confidence. Although they were bruised at the time, and they didn't get the medicine in time, they were also very angry, and they supported themselves by trying to become stronger. And now, they are really grateful to Land Rover for being able to single out the monsters in episode 15 with physical skills. Because they know that they have become a lot stronger. Go to the Capital University, will you cover us? Land Rover joked. Don't dare, come here and keep covering me. Xiao Yu said. While they were asleep, Land Rover came out by himself and went directly to the place where the level 25 monsters were, and then knocked them down to the ground with a heavy output. He himself didn't know what was going on, but there was a rush of blood in his body, and he wanted to release it. When they are all down, if it is boring, then remember the fire cloud snake, call them all out, and let them attack you together. Seeing him like this, Huiyan Snake also knew that his attack would not cause much damage to him, so he attacked crazily. After 200 moves, Land Rover felt a little better. Fire Cloud Snake said. Boss, you are much stronger again, much stronger than last time I saw you. Land Rover released a little depression and said, I don't know what's going on, so I just want to release, but fortunately, your output is enough. Land Rover doesn't know that this is Big Mom's physique. In One Piece, Big Mom is a born destroyer. Even giants with huge body, infinite strength and supernatural power call Big Mom an evil god. So it is the pedigree factor of Ant that caused Land Rover's current reaction. Ant's physique allows him to have a very hard body with terrifying defense power. The 5-year-old Ant can already use her body to break the giant's knife, and those bullets can't cause her a little damage when they hit her. It can be said that the Ant's physique is fanatical. Land Rover can fully feel the power of Big Mom now. If he outputs this power now, the entire secret realm will probably be shattered. Take back the fire cloud snake and go back to the top of the waterfall. Student Lou Rover, I can't sleep. Lan Lan walked over and said. In fact, Lanlan just came here, and she didn't fall asleep tonight. She has been thinking about how to repay Lou Rover. She also likes Lou Rover, but she doesn't know whether Lou Rover will choose her or Xiao Yu. She was also worried that when she went to revenge, she didn't succeed, and she didn't escape, so she lost her life. She also wants to help Land Rover do something. She discovered the abnormality of the Land Rover. Just after seeing the Land Rover coming out, she also followed outside, so she also saw the power released by the Land Rover just now. I came back early. Land Rover didn't notice, or in other words, didn't pay attention. Land Rover saw her, then sat down and said, yes. What about you? What are you thinking about? Lanlan then walked over and sat next to him. Sit down slowly and say, the matter of revenge, and your matter. When Lan Lan said the last sentence, she turned her head and looked at Lou Rover, although her heartbeat would speed up. Under the moonlight, that angular face is extraordinarily handsome. Looking at him so close. Lou Rover also turned his head and looked at Lan Lan's exquisite face. Those clear eyes. What about me, what about me? Land Rover then looked up to the moonlight. Lan Lan tilted her head directly and supported him on the shoulder. For your partner, you should know that Xiao Yu and I have fallen in love with you during this time. I don't know what choice you will make, and that guy Sally also. Tonight in the secret realm is also a full moon night, with a slight wind. After Land Rover felt the feeling on his shoulder, he silently looked down and smiled, then continued to look at the sky. He also said truthfully that there is no rhythm of lying. Actually, I know, but I don't think I am worthy of you. You are the school belle, the most beautiful existence in the whole school. As for me, this is just a little Karami who grew up in an orphanage. How dare I want to match the two of you? Do you want to be your partner? Of course I know that you all like me, I am very happy in my heart. Quote. Land Rover was already so happy that he flew up, but he is telling the truth now. After Lan Lan heard this, she felt that Land Rover was a bit interesting. Others had to choose to have both, but he didn't choose to have both. He also heard that Lou Rover liked the two of them, but because of his own conscience, he didn't deserve it, so he didn't say anything, he didn't make a choice. That means you like me too. Lan Lan turned her head up slightly again, looking into Lou Rover's eyes. In fact, Lan Lan knew this, but she just wanted Lou Rover to say it. Like it. After hearing this, Lanlan resumed the movement of looking forward with her head resting on her shoulders, and took the initiative to hold Lou Rover's hand with both hands. Actually, I'm also very scared. I'm afraid that the revenge will fail, and then I will lose my life. I will never see you again, and I won't be able to play with you in college. She is eager for revenge, so it feels like her strength has been improved this time, and she is Logia, so she dares to take revenge. But because of the appearance of Land Rover, she made the worst plan again, and couldn't stay with the person she likes now, Land Rover, for a longer time. Don't think like this, your physical skills are already so good, and you're still Logia. Even if the revenge is unsuccessful, it will be no problem to escape. And, if needed, I can help too. Quote. When Lan Lan heard this sentence and heard Lou Rover say that she could help, tears slowly flowed down her eyes. Because he knew that Lou Rover would definitely be able to help, but he didn't take the initiative to say it, and left it to himself to take revenge and solve it by himself. This is the greatest and best respect. If someone else would definitely lick her with this thing that can help her get revenge. Because Lanlan was excited, she hugged her hands even tighter. Land Rover felt the soft feeling, and the touch of the two hands is also very delicate. At this time, his abnormality came again, the fire in his body was burning rapidly, and it became hot. Land Rover looks at the shining moon in the distance. Lan also felt the abnormality of Land Rover. Your abnormality is coming again, what's going on? After hearing this, Lu Rover could also tell that Lan also saw his own situation last time. I don't know, it's just hot. Lan raised her head at this time, and followed Lu Rover's eyes to look at the moon. Today's moon is so beautiful. Lan turned around after saying this, and looked at Lu Rover. Land Rover also turned its attention to Lan. After a while, Lan stretched her head over and kissed Lu Rover. After Land Rover lost his mind for a few seconds, his head moved back a little. He heard Lan's words before he could say them. I like you so much, I'm afraid I won't have a chance. If you don't like me, I will refuse. Lan continued to flash over and kiss Lu Rover. A few minutes later, Lan stood up, slowly took off her clothes, and an ice room gradually formed around it. This ice room started from one side and slowly closed to the other side until it was closed to cover the moonlight. This is Lan's first experience, and maybe her last. Land Rover is slowly starting to take the initiative. Lan was already very tired after one trip, and then went to sleep directly. Before going to bed, she put all the red clothes into the space bag, put on new clothes and opened the ice room. Just at this time Xiao Yu woke up, but seeing no one around, she was afraid of the dark, so she rushed out of the waterfall crying. Seeing the two of them watching the moonlight up there, as if they had just finished chatting, she also flew over and sat on the other side of the Land Rover, holding back her tears and saying, "Wow. The moonlight tonight is so beautiful. What's on Lanlan's mind?" Just now I saw that she looked worried and heartfelt. Quote. Because she knew that she also liked Lu Rover in the first place, so it's not easy to tell the reason why she was crying at this time, so she asked about Lan's situation first. Maybe it was because of jealousy. First of all, what did Lu Rover and Lan do? Xiao Yu saw Lan who was asleep and said. Land Rover looked at the moon in the distance and said, yes, today's moon is so beautiful. She has been thinking about revenge all the time. And you? What happened? Why are you crying? Quote. Land Rover also heard Sally crying, so he asked directly. Scared, alone, wake up and see that you are not there. And the surrounding environment is so dark, the sound of the waterfall keeps ticking. Why are you all out? Quote. I went out to exercise, and when I came back, I saw her sitting here alone enjoying the moonlight. The moonlight tonight is really beautiful. Land Rover remembered the song. It's all the moon's fault. That moonlight is so beautiful, you are too gentle. Hello Mayor, you are about to graduate, haven't you come out of Land Rover yet? The new principal came to visit the mayor. It hasn't come out yet, is the life-saving necklace you gave him useful? I know from here that he used the room I arranged in the first few days when he went in. Since then, he has never been in or out, and he has been exercising inside. The mayor checked some information and said. It can be seen that the new principal cares about Land Rover very much. It's not working yet. But I just found out that I went into the secret realm, and after I came out, I became like this, and then Patriarch Song Quan also went in, but didn't come out. Everyone knows the relationship between Song Wei and Sally. Song Wei probably entered the secret realm because he had a conflict with Land Rover, and he came out like this. Then Song Quan must have gone in to avenge Song Wei. After going in for so long, I guess I will soon find Land Rover. Quote. The principal wouldn't think that Land Rover beat Song Wei up like that, but Song Quan couldn't help thinking that he would go in and find trouble for Land Rover. Isn't your life-saving necklace useless to him? That is to say, he hasn't encountered fatal danger yet, so you don't have to worry too much. Maybe he meets a good team, and he happens to go to exercise with him, to exercise its ability of gravity fruit. Maybe there is a girl he likes in the team, and then he has been addicted to Ruenxiang, so he forgot to come back. Maybe he is lying next to the beautiful woman now. Wait a minute. Quote. The mayor said solemnly. In the secret realm of Yangcheng. Above the waterfall, Land Rover is really lying next to the beautiful woman, and there are two of them. And one is the school bell of Yangcheng Middle School. Even another campus belle of a certain university in the capital. And after training in the 6 forms of physical art, although the 2 of them have been scarred, their figures are very attractive after recovery. The places that should be convex are convex, and the places that should be warped are warped. All 3 of them lay down and slept on the lawn. Suddenly, Lou Rover sat up straight away. Where he found a level 25 monster, something strange suddenly appeared. So seriously, check it out with observation hockey. I found that many monsters were fighting, and there was a hole where he was last night, and monsters kept coming out of the hole. Moreover, the entrance of the cave is gradually getting bigger, and more monsters are coming. The monsters that come over are all at level 10 to 20. Seeing how they come over, they want to occupy this place. The monsters found a hole last night, and the breath here is fresher, much better than theirs, so they started coming one by one. It may be due to the suppression of space, none of the monsters coming over are above level 20. That's where Land Rover vented last night, and a hole was accidentally punched out. Many monsters here are fighting with the monsters on the other side of the hole, because the monsters on the other side of the hole come over and seize their territory, they are considered invaders. Although their levels are not enough, they are numerous. Now their ratio is almost 110, that is to say, there are already a lot of monsters coming over. The monsters here can move one by one at the beginning, and there are many corpses on the ground, but they can't do it after a while, maybe it's because they were beaten by the Land Rover not long ago. Now watching the hard resistance, the monsters keep coming over there. They are also monsters. Why are you in such a good environment and we are in such a dirty environment? Perhaps this is the voice of the monster over the cave, but the price of aggression is life. Even if the monsters here are higher than their level, even if they see the partners coming over, they will fall in front of them one by one. But they keep coming. This is a war between monsters and monsters, this is a war for territory. After Land Rover sensed that there was little threat to him, Land Rover sat up and continued to lie down, lying between the 2 school beauties. There is not much time like this, and I will go out to the secret realm soon. Many monsters went to support, and many capable users followed these monsters to the battlefield. How did this hole appear? How come there are so many invading monsters? Hurry up and ask the people who maintain the space to come over. The first group of people who passed the battlefield saw a large number of densely packed monsters, and came out of the cave to speak quickly. Then a person with a faster flying speed hurried back to deliver the message. However, not long after we left, a large number of flying monsters came out of the cave. Some were like mosquitoes, some were like flies, some were like dragonflies, and some were like butterflies. Regardless of beauty or ugliness, dense crowds flew over from the entrance of the cave. Immediately, I can feel that the sky is covering the sun, and suddenly the route returns to the night, and the sky is covered densely. The cry of the monster is mixed with the sound of wings beating the air. Originally, the monsters in the secret territory resisted desperately, basically sending out group attacks, but due to the large number of opponents, the attacks from here hit them, and they didn't even lose their fighting power even if they were injured. And there are too many monsters in the sky, they are flying monsters attacking in groups. I saw the monsters here were directly wrapped by mosquitoes, and then all of a sudden they were bloody. It seems that these flying monsters like mosquitoes are not good creatures, don't think they are small, don't think that you can directly attack and kill them. Because the monsters here have fire breathing and lightning attacks on them, but the effect is not great. Because there are too many. On the opposite side, we beat the more advanced monsters on the ground here from the air, and gradually gained the upper hand on the ground. The monsters on the opposite side are still coming densely from the entrance of the cave. The person in charge of the secret realm came over immediately after receiving the notification. He was also surprised to see dense monsters fighting, so many monsters had already come. It was also the first time he saw it. That number is really scary, and he also feels it is difficult to deal with it now. The hole is already very big, but he still said the only way. Now we can only seal the hole. Don't let the monsters on the opposite side come in, and then kill the monsters that come in. Otherwise when they occupy this side, the hole will become bigger and bigger, maybe it will be connected to that side. No one knows what will happen at that time. You go back and call some experts to come over. Let's seal the hole first, just give me 5 minutes. As long as you stop the monsters from coming through the cave, I can seal the cave, of course you have to protect me. Quote. The uncle in charge of the secret realm is called Lin Hao. He has been in charge of affairs in the secret realm for more than 10 years. He mainly maintains the spatial fluctuations in the secret realm. I have also tried monsters coming out of similar holes before, and he was the one to deal with them. The hole is only the size of a car, and there are not so many monsters coming out. A few scattered like this will be dealt with quickly. Fortunately, it did not cause much impact. This time the hole was too big, almost as big as two 9.6-meter trucks, so he found it very difficult. Because the place where the cave entrance appeared was level 25 monsters, it was discovered late that the cave entrance is so big, and there are still a lot of them on the opposite side, and the environment seems to be relatively harsh. The monsters over there saw the entrance of the cave and felt that the environment here is so good, so they rushed over. Seeing that the situation continued to deteriorate, Lin Hao quickly said, "Look at the situation where they are rushing over. Hurry up and launch an attack together to stop that side from coming over. Otherwise, it will be even more troublesome when the hole continues to expand. Let's go up first and wait for them to come to support." Quote. So the ability users who have already come to attack the monsters at the entrance of the cave, and those who are not strong enough can only play support, and protect them behind these people. They can only throw a bunch of long-range skills in the past and slowly press forward, but there is no room to move forward, or they dare not move forward. There is a lack of people with very strong bodies rushing forward to open the way, because their physical skills are not strong enough. In other words, there is a lack of people who press forward with melee attacks. Report, Mayor. There is a space hole in Yangchung's secret realm, and there are many invading monsters. The level is 10 to 20, but the number has suppressed the original monsters, and the hole is getting bigger and bigger. Comrade Lin Hao asks for support. Quote. The reporter came directly to the mayor to report the situation in the secret realm. The information he received had not yet been invaded by the flying brigade. The mayor immediately took action after hearing this, notified his subordinates and all the families, and went in to help together. The past support people who received the message in the safe zone have arrived, and immediately joined in the assistance. Various ability users began to attack and began to throw skills over. Finally, at a certain moment, they managed to hold back the hatred of the Fatian Brigade, and the Fatian Brigade directly attacked them. Due to the flight, small size, fast speed, and large numbers, these ability users were quickly driven back, and some even used their whole cards to escape. The Fatian team rushed here as if they had a commander. The monsters of the two armies are fighting, and humans appear to help, so they must come and attack humans first. Not only the opponents came to attack, but also the own side's attack. A capable user immediately transformed into a beast, but within 2 seconds after transforming into a beast, he was surrounded by a dense flying team, and after 3 seconds, a pile of bones remained. Boom! A life-saving skill was released, and then the person who used the skill retreated quickly, saving his life. Too bad, they might die too. Seeing this situation, Lin Hao didn't have time to narrow the hole, and now he can only retreat while waiting for the mayor's assistance. Let's retreat first and slowly retreat with the wounded. People who were chaotic and retreated separately, heard Lin Hao's words, and those who could help also helped. Various defensive skills came out, but there is no healing personnel here. Lu Rover and the others are now awake, and they are also starting to go in that direction. Lan's lower body feels unwell, so she just sits there all the time. On the way, Lu Rover said to them, "There is a war ahead, a war between monsters and monsters. It's because there are a lot of monsters coming out of the hole in the space. The people in the secret realm have already passed, but they haven't been able to repair the hole yet. It is necessary to prevent the people from the opposite side of the cave from continuing to come in, they have already been beaten back by monsters. There is no time to repair the hole, the two of you cooperate and use the fruit ability skills." Quote. Land Rover, he dare not make a move now, he is afraid to continue to enlarge the hole. After all, the appearance of this hole may be related to his attack last night. Xiao Yu was very happy after hearing this, because she could free herself and go fight monsters. These days, I have been fighting against monsters, exercising iron body and finger pistol, and this suppressed heart can be released. Finally they came to Lin Hao. Go back, go back. When they first arrived, they heard the other party talking to them like this. It's very dangerous, the monsters coming in are a bit difficult to deal with. Several humans have been killed. Hearing this, both Xiaoyu and Lanlan began to feel heavy. Just a gust of wind brought the smell of blood. This is war, this is bloody war. This formation is the first time they have met. Lu Rover said next to them. You just shoot as much as you want. Then he said to Lin Hao. This leader, what should we do to repair that hole? Can destroy that hole, or what? Quote. Lin Hao said anxiously. Let's retreat one after another, this is still a dangerous zone. The words on the other side of the cave can't destroy it, the more it destroys, the greater it will be. Just stop the monsters coming in and fix it. Quote. During the conversation, several flying monsters came to attack Yi Lin Hao. Xiao Yu went over to them with a flying sword and clicked them off. Then the flying sword controlled directly entered the battlefield. Lanlan also activates the fruit ability to make snow fall in the surrounding environment. And use ice spikes to attack the monsters fighting humans in front. The monsters felt the changes in the surrounding temperature, and their movements gradually slowed down, as if they had calmed down a bit. But it didn't take a while to return to the previous state. With the two of them joining, soon this side will not be suppressed. At this time, Lu Rover called Lan and said, try using the freezing skill later, and freeze all the area in front of you. The brains of the monsters on the other side are also very good. Seeing that the monsters on the human side have almost been killed, and then increase the team and continue to attack. How many major units come together this time? Those who walk on the ground, those who run on the ground, and those who fly in the sky are all attacking here. At this time, the moment before Lanlan used the Ice Age, Land Rover used the ability of the gravity fruit to directly control the group of monsters in front of him, unable to move. No one else felt that Land Rover made a move. Lan used the moves from the Ice Age to freeze them all. After Lanlan used it, she realized that the strength of her fruit ability has been greatly enhanced, and she can actually launch such a big Ice Age. But she also accidentally froze part of the group in front. Xiaoyu continues to use the sword to harvest the frozen monsters. Lin Hao was very happy to see this situation. But he can't imagine that three young people can do such a thing. And not afraid of those monsters. Lin Hao said at this time, it would be even better to freeze the front of the cave so that monsters can't come in, and I can restore the cave. The battle between monsters and monsters is still going on, and Xiaoyu is reaping the part of the battle that humans have participated in. Before the harvest is over, another team is coming. There are too many monsters, come one after another. One batch fell, and another batch came over without fear. It seems that all monsters are like this, they don't care about their own lives in the face of this war, and don't worry about their lost lives. In their hearts, perhaps they can only rush forward. Even if there are all frozen teammates in front of us, if it is us humans, most of them will stop there and think about countermeasures, and they rush forward desperately. After Lu Rover assisted Lan at that moment just now, he suddenly realized that he just couldn't use physical power, but he could use gravity fruit ability. This should not enlarge the space hole. Land Rover tried to use observation hockey to feel the situation on the other side of the hole. Although it was faint, it still felt a little bit. Directly controlling the front of the hole over there, the gravity of the land deepens. Boom. The land has dropped a lot. Slowly, the number of monsters coming out of the cave has decreased a lot, and there are almost no land monsters, and all the ones coming are flying. Lin Hao is very happy to see this situation. It turns out it can. Lin Hao saw how powerful these two girls are. Just wipe out the flying monsters that attacked them. They, the first group of people who came here, and the first group of people who came to support in the morning, were beaten to pieces by this group of flying monsters. As soon as the two of them came, they reversed the situation of the battle and wiped out the flying monsters. So Lin Hao was very surprised, and looked at these two girls in disbelief. The other staff were so entangled by monsters that they didn't have time to care about who helped them, anyway, they just knew that a master was coming. In fact, after practicing defensive moves this time, their physical fitness has improved a lot, and their ability to use fruits has greatly improved. The damage is basically 10 times that of those people. For example, if you fight the same flying monster, If the people who come to support them deal 10 damage, then they will deal 100 damage. So the two of them can turn the tide of the battle around. Of course, Lin Hao didn't know that Land Rover also used the fruit ability. He thought that Lu Rover didn't make a move, he only saw the appearance of two abilities, Ice Spike and Flying Sword. Occurrence task. Complete the repair of the hull before the mayor waits for the second support team to come. Rewards with rare rewards. Closing parenthesis. Cheat's sudden speech surprised Land Rover. Land Rover saw that he could drop the land over there, and now he is thinking about how to stop the flying monster. As long as there are no animals coming in and out of the hole, Lin Hao can have time to repair the hole, as long as the cover is good. After thinking for a while, he finally thought of it, that is to block the entrance of the cave over there. Immediately tell them, make a big ice bed, and Xiao Yu can use her ability to float it in and block the doorway. As soon as Lanlin heard that, she made a big ice bed, and Xiao Yu immediately controlled it to fly over. Others were still frozen, and the rest of them watched such a big ice bed fly over, but they didn't understand. The process operation is just as Land Rover said. After Land Rover passed the opposite side of the ice bed, it immediately used the fruit ability to make the ice bed close to the entrance of the cave. Then immediately said to Lin Hao, go and repair and we will cover you. Hearing what he said, Lin Hao immediately looked over to the entrance of the cave. My darling, there are really no monsters coming. What's the situation? How is he so clear? Although he had doubts, he didn't hold back and didn't ask, so he rushed over to fix it first. Thaw those people. Lan did it immediately after hearing Lu Rover's words. Others see this pretty girl listening to Land Rover like this. No time to think why. Maybe it's because of his good looks. When they were all able to act, Lu Rover said to them, you go to Lin Hao's side to cover and prevent monsters from harassing him. Go. Quote. They didn't ask why and just passed by. This is the role of Land Rover's observation haki, which can affect other people's minds. With the command function, if observation haki is developed to the end, it can also affect a person's mind, just like the mother of the female star princess. But their strength is too scumbag, and they were suppressed by the monsters in a short while. Xiao Yu got rid of those monsters, and Lan made them half an ice room to seal them, so that no monsters could attack them. And now I will show you the power of gravity fruit. Look good. Quote. Lan and Xiao Yu followed what Lu Tu said, and after saving those people, they sealed them up in half of the ice room. Those people saw each other and Fei Jian coming to help again, and then saw Lan and Xiao Yu. It was actually two little girls who saved them. Wow, who are they? How to cultivate? When did such a young master appear? That's right, it's still a girl, female master. Look carefully, it's so beautiful. Wow. Don't tell me, I haven't seen the truth yet. So beautiful, and with such great strength, I was saved by her. Looks like I'm still a scumbag. Looking at them, they should still be students, but they can be so powerful. Land Rover imitated Fujitora again, closed his eyes and opened up his knowledge to search for meteorites in the sky, and then controlled one to fly down. They looked at the way Lu Rover closed his eyes, and couldn't see anything, but they seemed to know each other, just like the last time they were looking for someone. Okay, here we come. Land Rover just finished speaking. I saw a meteorite smashing down from the sky with flames. The speed is also very fast. They were stunned when they saw it. What? Oh my god. Is it so outrageous? Others can control a helicopter at most, but you can control a meteorite. The two of them were stunned until the meteorite hit the ground and made a loud noise. Boom. Whether it's a flying monster or a non-flying monster. They were all hurt by this attack. Some turned into dead bodies, some with severed limbs. There was a smell of gunpowder smoke. Of course they couldn't see it in the ice room, but they felt the violent vibration. And some gravel or body parts fell on their ice room. Then Lu Rover shouted at them. Lan controls the power of the snow on the ground to form a lion. Xiao Yu controls the power of the ground like a lion to harvest them. Quote. Now both of them are fooled, it is beyond their imagination, we don't know what we are doing now, we heard what Land Rover said. They immediately did so, and two lions appeared on the ground, the white ice lion being slightly bigger. These two lions are running around in this area, harvesting everywhere. As Lan Lan's physical strength to control the ice lion decreased, the ice room slowly burst open. Those people saw an unbelievable scene. The monsters that were still in the war just now were all down. Although there were still a few who could stand up, they couldn't think of how to do it. That's tens of thousands of monsters. Just what kind of move can cause such a large group damage? They saw Xiao Yu and Lanlan panting, and they probably understood. It was the skill used by the two of them, and it was the skill of such a large-scale group attack, which knocked down all these monsters. It didn't take long for Lin Hao to finish the repair. He wanted to run away, but when he looked back, he found that the monster war was over. In the end, what happened? He has been concentrating on repairing just now. Even when the meteorite fell on the ground, it didn't affect his concentration on repairing. He is the kind who does one thing without being disturbed by anything outside. He himself has 3 question marks. At the same time, the mayor's second batch of supporters arrived, but they were also very surprised to see the corpses everywhere. They came into the secret realm after the meteorite landed, so they didn't see the meteorite fall. He never expected that there would be so many monsters. There were really too many monsters. Tens of thousands of monsters were needed. Seeing Lin Hao over there, go over immediately to find out the situation. Lin Hao immediately reported, "We were not invincible just now, but were chased by those flying monsters and are still running away." After meeting those 2 girls, they joined the battle and killed all the monsters chasing us with a few skills. We followed in their footsteps and started to counterattack. He used his ability to prevent the monster from continuing to come, allowing me to successfully repair the hole. They are really awesome. Quote. The mayor turned around to look, and the first thing he saw was Lan Lan, because the snow-white clothes caught his attention. It turned out to be Lan Lan from Logia Snow Fruit. He had no impression of the one next to him, and the third one he saw was a Land Rover. After seeing Lu Rover, he thought to himself that he really joined an incredible team. It seems that he has taken a fancy to Lan Lan. And at this time, Xiao Yu, don't care about them. Fly straight out to collect the beast hearts and corpses of some monsters. Lanlan doesn't want to move now, and her lower body hurts a bit when she moves, so she still rests. The mayor brought them over, and the first batch of 8 people said, "You are amazing, thank you for saving us. That attack is too powerful, and so is the ice room. What's the move of Boom's sound?" The mayor waved his hand and told them to stop talking. Lan Lan, Lu Rover. Hello, long time no see. I heard from them that you have made great contributions to this battle and saved their lives. It seems that you have gained a lot from training in the secret realm. There are many opportunities. Quote. The mayor also saw Lan Lan's exhaustion. So I looked at Land Rover. I thought to myself, say a few words and give me a step down. Land Rover said, just passing by and seeing them being chased by monsters, we tried our best to save them. It's nothing, this is what we should do, please worry the mayor. I didn't expect you to grow up so much in this period of time. I'm really happy for you, and the development of Yangcheng will depend on all of you. By the way, Land Rover. You are about to graduate. If you are done here, hurry up and meet the principal, he will be worried about you to death. Already went to my place to find you twice. Quote. Okay. Let the principal worry about it. Lu Rover said. Xiao Yu finally cleaned up the mess, flew over and landed and said, I met the mayor. She's great too. That's right, her flying sword, the monster will die wherever it flies. The people below started talking again. The mayor continued, thank you for saving them, and for helping Yangcheng's secret realm solve this difficulty. At this time, Xiao Yu will not be able to fix it. After all, this is Land Rover's great contribution, whether it is preventing the monsters from outside from coming in, or destroying the monsters that have already come in here. Especially thinking of the attack by Land Rover, my god, I can't take the credit for this. Just put on your father's face. It's nothing to keep in mind, I'm just playing and cooperating. If my father, Sun Zonghai, would definitely do the same. Quote. So it's Sun Zonghai's student's daughter, so amazing. Yang Xiaoyu said and returned to Lanlan's side. No wonder they are so powerful, we are so scumbags, and we need them to save us. And the people from the second echelon have been silently following the mayor, hearing their speeches, and inferring what happened. They all heard that it was appreciation for the two girls, but no one praised Land Rover. Naturally ignored Land Rover. There is a gentleman who looks at Lou Rover with different eyes. It is unreasonable for two such powerful beauties to be so obedient by his side. He was also the one who guessed that Land Rover was going to exchange fruits. Interesting guy. He is a teacher of Yangcheng University, and he also has an identity. He has joined an organization with only 5 people, Yan Wang. This organization is also used by the Dragon Kingdom to benchmark the ghost organization. He ghosts and gods collect human souls, and we Hades collect ghosts. Let Sun Zonghai's daughter follow her side so obediently, it seems that she is hiding it very deeply. His thinking must be that Land Rover's contribution is greater than the two of them, but the first batch of 8 people didn't realize it. Lan stood up after resting for a while and said, "Hello Mayor. It's a great honor to be able to help this time, and it's good to see that everyone is okay, but we are still late. A few more brothers died in this war, if only we had come sooner." Quote. When everyone heard her say this, they were still blaming themselves for being late. Lan, this kind of thing can't be forced, we are coming, and it may take a lot of time to solve it. Don't blame yourself, this is really thank you. Those who died, we will treat them well. Quote. Yes. If it weren't for you, we might have died, and we will deal with their affairs together. Yes. Thank you. After the first batch of people who came over and the first batch of people who came to help finished speaking, they all bowed to the 3 of them and thanked them. Lou Rover, let's go back to the secret place for a rest. Lan said. Lan knew that Lou Rover didn't want to deal with them, nor did he want to expose his strength. Okay. Everyone, let's go first. So Xiao Yu flew back to the waterfall with them. The rest they are walking and talking. Lin Hao was called by the mayor. The teacher is communicating to find out the details. Mission completed, rare rewards issued. Sensing that the pet is about to lay eggs. Reward pets with S-level fruits. Closing parenthesis. What? Pets want to lay eggs. Land Rover sees Cheat saying this, and has not seen the fruit of the reward yet. Go straight into the consciousness and follow the 2 fire cloud snakes. Are you going to lay eggs recently? How many? Boss, do you know this? Yes, 1. We are all 1 at a time. A fire cloud snake said in surprise. Is there anything I need to pay attention to? Are you going to put you guys outside? And I also got a baby fruit, what level do you belong to? Quote. If you grow up, you don't need to pay attention to anything. It's best to get in touch with the outside world to know the rules of survival. We are B level. Then I'll let you out, take care of yourself. Lou Rover saw the birth of new lives, let them go. Fire Cloud Snake said that after hearing this sentence, he felt that Land Rover was about to abandon them. It was rare to meet such a boss, and they definitely didn't want to let it go. Moreover, with the training of such a boss, their offspring must be very powerful. No thanks. We hope you can take it with you and keep it here, just let it go out to meet once in a while. Quote. Another Fire Cloud Snake said, if you feel inconvenient, we can break up the relationship and come out here, of course we also want to stay by your side. What? Do you want to keep it with me? But don't you want it to stay with you after it's born? Watch it grow. Think about it, but it will definitely be better on your side. Then I promise you, we won't kill humans indiscriminately in the future, and I'll just teach them a lesson when they come to improve. Land Rover think about this question. Since they want to give it to themselves, Cheat gave this fruit again, so it is obvious that they want to let them eat the fruit. Whatever you choose, just stay. It's okay. You all keep it, I'll give him a fruit to eat when he comes out. If you finish speaking, go out. Above the waterfall, they were exclaiming how powerful they were against Devil Fruit. And what shocked them was that Lou Rover's move was able to launch an attack like a meteorite. So amazing. And this is just one, if there are many at the same time, the damage can simply destroy a country. What kind of power is this? How many cards does he have left? How many moves are left useless? His development of Devil Fruit ability moves is amazing. My god, he hasn't graduated from high school yet he already has so much room for imagination and maneuvering. Now Xiao Yu thinks it's true to hug Lou Rover's thigh quickly, don't become an enemy. If you have a chance, ask him if he is that old monster. After Lu Rover came out of consciousness, he looked at them like that and said, "Calm down first, don't be intimidated by my trick. After you calm down, ask what you want to know." Because the proficiency of the gravity fruit has reached the reason of controlling the air, it can be said to be very proficient in this world. So he can control the damage with a meteorite. The places where there are monsters basically have the smoke of meteorites colliding with the ground. Yangcheng's secret realm exit. Lan Xing came here and waited for them to come out, and everyone around greeted them respectfully. Although she is not very old, the age of a college student. But she is the instructor of the dragon team, a flower fruit capable user. You're welcome, everyone is busy with your own work. I came here just to wait for someone to come out of the secret realm. Blue Star responded. Hear what everyone around you is discussing. There are two powerful girls in the secret realm of Yangcheng, and they solved a large number of monsters coming in from the hole in the space. How many people have they saved? It's amazing, I was there at the time. We were chased and beaten by monsters, and they beat the monsters to death as soon as they came. Isn't that right? One uses ice spikes and the other uses flying swords. When Lan Xing heard these words, he didn't need to think that it was Xiao Yu and Lan Lan, but why are they so powerful? Lan Xing asked. Then are they also with a boy? Didn't that boy make a move? Don't talk about this boy, he never made a move, it was all done by those two girls. But I heard that boy order the two girls what to do. And the two girls followed him obediently. Don't say that boy is handsome. But those two girls are also beautiful, and they are so powerful. Lan Xing was shocked when he heard this, he could be so powerful without having to direct the two of them. Is Land Rover so awesome? I thought of Land Rover's 6 forms of physical art, and also remembered the fruit development moves that Land Rover taught me. Those two moves directly enhanced his combat power a lot. Thinking of these Blue Stars shook his head and smiled. Uncharted Falls. Student Lu Rover, you are still not human. Xiao Yu, who is already calm, pulled Lu Rover, looked here and there, as if he really wanted to see if he was human. Lu Rover gave her a blank look. You are not human, but I am a proper man. When Lanlan saw Xiao Yu doing this kind of behavior to Lu Rover, she didn't feel jealous at all. If you are really human, why can you do such outrageous things? How many monsters are there? They are estimated to be able to destroy a small country. You are given by a meteorite like this. And if you drop a group of meteorites, then unbelievable. It's not as easy as you think, don't be so exaggerated. If the monsters were not fighting, how could I have placed them so accurately? They just got hurt, and none of us were affected. Lan Lan added. Can't you put a few more? Don't look so simple, it's very tiring. If you can't control it a little bit, you will die. Although he obtained the terrifying pervert physique of the 4 emperors' ant, it does not mean that his physical strength is unlimited, nor is it infinite physical strength like Luffy. Xiao Yu continued to hold and shake Lu Rover's hand and asked in amazement, Student Lu Rover, where did you come from? Are you really a high school student who hasn't graduated yet? Don't you have lived for hundreds of years? Old monster. Lu Rover looked at his hand rubbing and said, just think of me as an old monster. I heard that there is a strong phantom beast in another country, who has lived for hundreds of years and can rejuvenate. I don't know if it's true. There are all kinds of comments on the internet. I didn't believe it before. Now I believe the person they said, it may be you. Quote. Other countries don't even deal with our dragon kingdom. If it were me, do you think I would teach you the 6 moves? If it were really me, how long would the dragon kingdom last with a meteorite? Lu Rover nodded Xiao Yu's head with his hand and said. After hearing this, Xiao Yu and Lanlan felt that it made sense and nodded their heads. In case Lu Hu is an old monster, he doesn't need to teach us. Wouldn't it be easier for him to bully people from the dragon kingdom with such a powerful strength? But the old monster you mentioned may really exist. I know that there is a phantom beast fruit. He can suck blood to maintain his life. The younger the blood, the more likely he will be rejuvenated. What? Really? Xiao Yu asked in surprise. What kind of fruit is that? Is it from those deep-sea animals? Lan Lan asked. Animal fruit, bat fruit phantom beast vampire form. Xiao Yu was surprised and immediately said, what the hell? There really is such a fruit, but why haven't I heard of it? That's strange, aren't you an orphan? Didn't you grow up in our school? How do you know? You know things that even I don't know. Quote. Hee hee. I know the 6 forms of physical art, do you know it? Lu Rover held back his mouth, and Lousy kindly told you, you steal me. That's why I said, you are not like what you said at all. You are an ordinary high school student, an ordinary person who grew up in an orphanage. Look at how hard you speak now. Lan Lan suddenly interjected. Yes. It's really tough. Lu Rover said boringly. You can make up your mind as you like, anyway, I am me, different fireworks. Believe it or not. Of course. You are a handsome guy who taught me the 6 forms of gymnastics. Xiao Yu immediately smiled and put his arms around his arm and said, by the way, take a closer look, you are really handsome. Lu Rover looked at Rushu's chest and said, don't look at me like that, and keep using this big breast to rub against my arm. Why didn't I see how big it was at that time? What kind of murder weapon is not a murder weapon? How did I rub your hand on purpose? It's disgusting, you say yes, Lan Lan. Xiao Yu rubbed harder. Quote. Land Rover was speechless for a while, such a blatant attack. Lanlan didn't intend to join in these vicious things, she already had a substantial relationship with Lu Rover, and she also knew about Xiao Yu's situation. But she was still curious about how it started. Don't be kidding me. Classmate Lu Rover, tell us quickly. How did you do it just now? Xiao Yu has to touch something before using the fruit ability. Don't you need a gravity fruit? Quote. It is to use the ability of the gravity fruit to guide the meteorite to control the meteorite's fall. You don't need to touch it, last time you saw those lingo flying over like this. Quote. You can control it without touching it, is the gravity fruit so powerful? No, classmate Lu Rover. You came in after eating the gravity fruit. We are basically together these days. I have never seen you exercise. Previously, the ability user of the fruit of gravity could control a helicopter at most, but the Land Rover could actually control a meteorite, and it fell from such a far place. I have thought about the development of this fruit for a long time. Paramesha also has string fruit and shock fruit. Otherwise, how can I change to the gravity fruit closest to me, because it has the power to destroy heaven and earth. You want I know, the one in front of you is Lu Rover, a man who has not yet graduated from high school and is already number 1 in the Dragon Country, or even number 1 on this planet. And think about it again, in such a short period of time, I have taught the 2 of you some physical skills, and if you put it outside, you are also monsters in the eyes of normal people. I am the one who teaches monsters, and I am the monster of monsters. So don't look at me by the standards of ordinary people, it will be even more monsters if you compare it like this. Quote. 666,666. The 2 of them had nothing to say. Actually, the development of devil fruit is not difficult, especially the Paramesha devil fruit I just mentioned, as long as you are full of imagination, you can play very well. For me, as long as I eat it, it should be the strongest Paramesha. Quote. Seeing Lu Rover's pretentious appearance, they really wanted to punch him. It's a pity that they are not enough for him to fight, and what he said seems to be reasonable. It was installed by him. Lanlan smiled and asked, you said Paramesha fruit, you will have a lot of fun after eating it, so just use your unrestrained imagination. Yeah, Paramesha devil fruit is really fun. Land Rover nodded, this is also true. Xiao Yu just thought of something and said, I have a cousin who happened to be in the same class as you, and she also awakened this year, but it seems to be a waste fruit Paramesha magnetic fruit. You said that the development space of this devil fruit, if it was how you would develop it. When Lu Rover heard it, is this the fruit of kid, or the fruit of the top 10 wastes? I wanted to laugh in my heart, and I almost laughed out loud. Thinking silently in my heart, you see, I am upset and find someone I can't do, and I have to find a magnetic fruit. Isn't that all a chance for me to pretend? Land Rover said in surprise, it's true. Why did I lie to you? My cousin is great, she looks so cute and has a nice voice, she must be a lowly type. If you can help her solve this problem, maybe she will agree with you. I see you are not interested in Sally's aggressiveness. I don't take a second look at my cousin's royal sister type. There is even a kind of dislike for Lan Lan and me, saying that you can't do it there. If not, then you just like the rest of the lowly type. Quote. Hearing him making fun of himself again, Lu Rover gave her a blank look, Isn't it just magnetic fruit? I do have a lot of development ideas, but I am afraid that your cousin does not have the talent of your cousin. Your cousin's flower fruit is that I have given 2 development ideas. Quote. Okay, if I have a chance, I'll bring her to you. Let's talk about it later. I'm not interested in lowly type. I'm more interested in you, rubbing against me with a murder weapon all day long. How about I tell you some development ideas of lion fruit, how about you agree with me? Land Rover joked back to her this time. Lanlan smiled silently after hearing this. This time I saw Xiao Yu's embarrassment. But after a while, Xiao Yu also responded to Hockey. Okay, if you can, I will promise you with my body. At this time, Lu Rover and Lan's eyes widened. Wow, so Hockey. Now Land Rover is in a difficult situation, it's not good to say it, it's not good not to say it. At this time, Lanlan said, speak out and let Xiao Yu agree with me, I will be the witness. My God, how could it be like this? Didn't you just come with me, why are you thinking about other girls and me? In fact, Lanlan thought a lot. She always thought that the worst thing would be that she failed in her revenge, but she didn't want Lu Rover to help her. This is because she was born with it or influenced by her family environment, and she has been thinking of others since she was a child. A strong man like Land Rover, and so handsome, how could he be the only one? Then I told you, you lion fruit. Just like the little lion formed by controlling the ground as I told you before, right? Also, I think you are a floating sword, why when you don't kill your opponent, let the sword float over with the enemy's weapon for you to touch, and continue to float his weapon to use, isn't it also very effective? If it really doesn't work, you can prepare more than 100 flying needles yourself, this kind of attack is also very good. Or you can control an island or a room to fly like this, think about it, this island or this room you control is full of people who are used to invade, how scary are you now? But in the final analysis, you also know that when your strength is stronger, the moves of the fruit ability will also be stronger. How about it? Promise with your body. Quote. Xiao Yu listened carefully, thinking about whether she could do what she said before, and her face turned red when she heard the latter sentence. Don't think too much, practice is useful. Lu Rover told her to use Devil Fruit's ability to try to develop, instead of thinking like this. But Xiao Yu herself could have misunderstood it. She thought that Lu Rover was talking about the practice of agreeing with each other, so that she didn't have to feel embarrassed about Lan. She lowered her head slightly and said, but Lan is here. Land Rover didn't know what it meant after hearing it, it was very baffling. But after Lan heard it, it seemed that she was about to understand in an instant. That is, Xiao Yu wants to agree with her body now, but she is here. I want to do it. Lan said silently, slowly took off her clothes, went to kiss Lu Rover, and then extended an invitation gesture to Xiao Yu with one hand. Let you blatantly rub Land Rover with a murder weapon, come on. Xiao Yu also came over and began to take off. An ice house is formed. At this time, Land Rover's hands directly become dragon claws. Seeing that they were already asleep, Lu Rover went into his consciousness and took a look at the fire cloud snakes. The baby has been born and is about to hatch. At this time, Land Rover asked them, will it affect you if I take you to the outside world? It is the world outside the secret world. If you show up like this, they may all be enemies, whether they are humans or monsters, they are our enemies, and they will chase us. Then if you continue to be in my consciousness space like this, will it have any impact? That's not going to happen, because you're too powerful inside. Lu Rover thought for a moment, he was worried about the safety of the two of them. Thinking about whether to give the fire cloud snake to the two of them, after all, I haven't given a gift to others yet. A fire cloud snake seemed to know what Lu Rover was thinking, and then said, it can be like this, do you want to put us in their consciousness to protect them? In fact, that is even more harmful to them, because their consciousness is not strong enough, and they are prone to mental illness. It can be like this, we will continue to be bound in your consciousness, but you can make us into a bracelet or necklace and give them to wear, that's all. We will also choose to show up when we see some situations, of course we will protect our sister-in-law with death. Quote. After hearing this, Land Rover feels that it is also possible. But he still doesn't know how to make them into bracelets or necklaces. This is like the life-saving necklace he has now. The one given to him by the new principal is just a one-time product. But I don't know how to do it. How can I make you like that, and then you are alive again? Haha. This is easy for us. We just shrink into that shape and fix it. We just need you to cover up our aura. The best way to cover it up is to use a first-level beast heart. This is probably enough. The lower the beast heart, the better. Use it to cover you, right? I thought there was a low-level monster inside. Use that beast heart once and destroy it once, and continue to find the next beast heart. After communicating a lot with Hui and Snake, he also knew a way. Not long after, the eggs hatched, and the Land Rover released them to hatch, and a small fire cloud snake broke out of the egg. That soft body kept moving, and two big fire cloud snakes looked at its figure. I stroked it slowly with my head, and Land Rover also poked it with my finger. It responded cutely, and also came to rub. Maybe it was just realizing how powerful Land Rover is, or having an intimacy with Land Rover, it climbed into Land Rover's hands. Ah! Fire cloud snake. Lan Lan woke up first and saw two fire cloud snakes. She directly used the fruit ability, and the whole space was covered with snow. It also woke Xiaoyu up, and the dazed Xiaoyu woke up immediately after seeing it. Go! A flying sword also went straight there. Land Rover was silent for a moment and took the baby to a distance to see how they reacted. Seeing Lu Rover's reaction, Fire Cloud Snake instantly understood. Just exercise them. I can still elementalize, but you can't. Let's fly, quick. Where's the Land Rover guy? Pull up your pants and run. Right. Lan Lan said immediately. Xiao Yu immediately took Lan Lan with her and flew up, then said frantically, you little pervert. Don't let me see him. At this time, Fire Cloud Snake thought flexibly. Playfully said, that little boy. He has been eaten by me, haha. You can't see him anymore. Quote. They were still thinking that Lu Rover had gone out for a trip, but when they heard this sentence, like a thunderbolt from the blue sky, hit their hearts hard. How come? Just together. No, he is so powerful. Lanlan couldn't bear it any longer, and jumped down directly. A few tempest kicks in the air, all hits, but tickle for them. Xiaoyu also rushed over, using the flying sword to fly up in a chaotic manner. Give me back my Land Rover. Dead. They are full of hatred now, and they never thought that they are not the opponent of Fire Cloud Snake at all. However, Fire Cloud Snake didn't attack at all, and just stayed there to watch their reactions. And bear the other party's attack after being naughty. They output while collapsing, and they seem to have no energy. At this time, Land Rover came to them with a moonwalk. Don't cry. It's not beautiful to cry. Little pervert, whoop. Lanlan cried while hugging Luhu. Little pervert. That's great. I'm scared to death, haha. Xiao Yu also hugged her. It's all right. Lu Rover patted their backs, then touched their heads. They just gave birth to a baby. I just took it outside for a while, look. Baby. Their brains are not working well now. You took someone else's baby out, it's fine. By the way, when they attacked you last time, they were with me, they are my snakes. They didn't attack you just now. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Quote. What? Is it your snake? Outrageous, outrageous. Come and say hello to them. Fire Cloud Snake obediently came over and rubbed their hands with his head. They only looked at them seriously at this time, they seemed a little cute. It looks like the Dragon Ball Shenlong, but there is no difference between the 4 snake heads and the red snake head with clouds around it. Xiao Yu immediately slapped the head that was close to her. Let you play with me. Let you bully me. Then I hugged Land Rover and cried. I am so surprised. Lanlan looked at the little baby, wow. So cute. It is still transparent. After comforting them, Lu Rover said, I'm going to leave the secret realm. I haven't given you anything, now I give them to you, they will turn into bracelets for you to wear on your body. Can't refuse, in case something happens and I'm not around, they can save you. Quote. Land Rover Hockey says. It was also the first time for them to see such a hockey Land Rover, but they also felt full of security. They remembered this time. Land Rover rescued them. Land Rover gave beast hearts to them. Land Rover taught them the 6 forms of gymnastics. Land Rover gave linguo to them. Land Rover taught them fruit development. He obviously gave them so much and said he hadn't, and they started crying again in an instant. Fire Cloud Snake nodded after hearing this. Land Rover took out the S-grade pet fruit, the size of a lychee. Then feed it to the baby. Boss, we monsters can't eat devil fruit. I don't know why, but there is a natural sense of rejection. Some monsters tried it and died on the spot. Oh. There is such a thing, wow. This is the sacred fruit for it to be upgraded, it can be upgraded to S rank. Not devil fruit. Quote. The two fire cloud snakes were stunned. S rank. Thank you for your love for the baby. They dare not even think about it. After all, they are only B rank. Xiaoyu and Lanlan looked at the cute little baby, and felt a little bit of maternal love. After watching the baby's body flicker after eating the lychee, Land Rover put it away. Seeing the two fire cloud snakes turned into bracelets, Land Rover directly gave them 10 beast hearts each. These are 2 bracelets surrounded by snakes. Take the bracelet and walk over to put it on for them. Separate yourselves for now, and you'll be together later when they play together. It's okay, boss. We can do it. Fire Cloud Snake responded. They also reached out their hands tacitly together to receive this precious gift. Thanks for watching.